Good evening, Raider Nation, and welcome to Silver and Black Tonight, your home for everything Las Vegas Raiders football. I'm your host, Mike the Voice Callahan, coming to you from the shadow of Allegiant Stadium, where the lights are still dim, the confetti's long gone, and the mood, well, let's just say it's a little heavier than usual. Folks, what we witnessed yesterday against the Cleveland Browns wasn't just a loss. It was a 24-13 gut punch that felt like the entire season flashing before our eyes in slow motion. The Raiders' offense, the unit we were told would be revamped, explosive, and finally balanced after adding Brock Bowers in the draft and bringing in a new offensive mind in Chip Kelly. That unit managed just 13 points. 13. Against a Browns defense that, with all due respect, is not exactly the 2000 Ravens. Cleveland only needed 2 touchdowns and a couple field goals to put this one away, and honestly, it felt over when they went up 14-6 in the third quarter. That's how anemic this attack looked. And no one feels that frustration more right now than the rookie who was supposed to be the spark plug, tight end Brock Bowers. The kid from Georgia, the one who caught everything in sight in college, the one Raider Nation fell in love with the second he slipped on that number 89 jersey under the Death Star lights on draft night. He's hurting. And he's not hiding it. After the game, Bowers stood at the podium, still in his sweat-soaked gear, and gave one of the most honest, raw press conferences you'll hear from a 21-year-old. Let's roll some of that tape. Reporter voice. Brock, what's the hardest part right now of trying to get this offense to click? Bowers, yeah, their D-line is really good. It's a good defense overall. But we put ourselves in some bad spots with penalties and negative plays. We just gotta stay on track. On third down struggles, which, by the way, the Raiders converted only 3 of 13 yesterday. Bowers, like you said, we got ourselves into a bunch of third and longs. We can't do that. On the pass protection breaking down in 2.4 seconds. Bowers, we scheme a lot of chip blocks with the tight ends. The backs are picking up blitzers. We're just trying to help however we can. And then the quote that's going to be clipped and replayed all week. Reporter, you guys move the ball so well in practice, but it's not translating on Sundays. How frustrating is that? Bowers, without hesitation, it's definitely very frustrating. Everybody's putting in max effort. Nobody in that room is messing around. Everybody wants to win badly. It's just not clicking on game day. You could hear the pain in his voice. Raider Nation. That's a rookie who's already carrying the weight of a fan base on his shoulders. Now, let's zoom out for a second, because context matters. This isn't just one bad game. The Raiders are now 2-9. 2 wins. 9 losses. That ties the 2014 team for the worst 11-game start in the Las Vegas era, and we're not far off some of those dark Oakland days in the early 2000s. Remember, this franchise has only had 4 double-digit loss seasons since the turn of the millennium, and we're barreling toward number 5. The offseason felt so hopeful. They drafted Brock Bowers at 13, a luxury pick many called the best player available. They signed Christian Wilkins to the richest defensive tackle contract in franchise history. They brought in Gardner Minshew to stabilize the quarterback room and hired Chip Kelly to modernize an offense that had grown stale under Josh McDaniels. And for a minute, it looked like it might work. Week 1 in LA against the Chargers, they battled. Week 2 in Baltimore, they shocked the world and beat Lamar Jackson on the road. But then the injuries hit like a freight train. Colton Miller missed time. Thayer Munford missed time. The interior O-line has been a turnstile. Jacoby Myers has been in and out. And suddenly, an offense that was supposed to be multiple and creative started looking one-dimensional and, frankly, scared. Which brings us to yesterday's big organizational move. Chip Kelly is out as offensive coordinator. Just like that. Less than 1 full season into the experiment. Sources tell us the decision came straight from Antonio Pierce and GM Tom Telesco. The vibe in the building? Kelly's scheme was too complex for a line that couldn't protect long enough to let routes develop. Too many pre-snap motion concepts, too many RPOs that weren't being executed cleanly. So now it's Greg Olsen, the veteran play caller who was here with Rich Bisaccia and Josh McDaniels, stepping back into the chair for the final 6 games. Can Olsen simplify things? Can he lean into Bowers more in the middle of the field? Can he get Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker more one-on-one looks? That's the hope. Let's talk stats for a second. Because the numbers are brutal. The Raiders are dead last in the NFL in yards per play at 4.6. Dead last in third down conversion rate at 29%. They're 31st in red zone touchdown percentage. And maybe most damning, they're 30th in sacks allowed with 42. Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins are getting home on the other side, don't get me wrong. Max is still a one-man wrecking crew with 8.5 sacks. But when your offense can't stay on the field, those guys are out there for 70-75 snaps a game. Even legends get tired. Historical context. The last time the Raiders started 2-9 was 2014, Derek Carr's rookie year. They finished 3-13. The time before that, 2006, the year after the Super Bowl loss, with Art Shell and a washed-up Aaron Brooks. These are dark parallels, folks. But here's where I remind you why we're Raider Nation. This fan base has lived through the Jamarcus Russell era. We've survived Lane Kiffin, Dennis Allen, the Tucker Rule, the Holy Roller controversy, the move from LA to Oakland and back, and now the desert heat of Vegas. We've celebrated 3 Super Bowls, Marcus Allen's 74-yard run in Super Bowl 18, Howie Long terrorizing quarterbacks, Tim Brown and Jerry Rice torching secondaries, Lester Hayes and the Soul Patrol. We've seen the black hole in full glory and the Death Star lit up silver for primetime. And every single time, this franchise finds a way to rise. Remember 2016? 12-4 after years of misery. Remember 2021? Playoffs with Rich Bisaccia after the Gruden chaos. This team has resilience in its DNA. Brock Bowers gets it. When asked about losing at home and hearing the boos raining down from the 65,000 in Allegiant, he said, "It's definitely tough to hear the crowd like that. Obviously. It just sucks. We gotta do better for them. And we need them. We need that energy." That's a rookie who already understands what the silver and black means. So where do we go from here? 6 games left. Denver twice, Kansas City, the Chargers, Atlanta, Jacksonville, and the Saints on the road. The playoffs are a mathematical mirage at this point, but pride isn't. Draft position isn't. And for a young core of Max Crosby, Brock Bowers, Jackson Powers-Johnson, Trayvon Moehrig, and whoever they bring in next April, these final 6 weeks are about proving something. Greg Olsen gets his shot starting Monday night against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Prime time. National stage. The greatest rivalry in the AFC West. If there was ever a week to flush the Browns game and remind the league who the Raiders are, it's this one. Raider Nation, I know it's hard right now. I know Sundays have been more painful than fun. But keep showing up. Keep waving those flags. Keep making Allegiant Stadium the loudest building in football. Because this team hears you. Brock Bowers hears you. Max Crosby hears you. And trust me, they're just as pissed off as we are. Next man up. Just win, baby. We'll see you Monday night under the lights. Until then, this is Mike Callahan, reminding you, once a Raider, always a Raider.